giving you a lawful order. You need to move the area.
Let me ask you.
Okay, so this cop here, he's not very savvy in this exchange. We are all walking around here. I want you to keep in mind, oftentimes we don't really recognize the reality we're in until you catch a legal case of sorts and you see your name, John Doe, Jane Doe, versus the state of Missouri, versus the United States of America, versus New York City, versus Orange County, right? Then you realize that you have an adversarial relationship with the government entities that are around you. They are not your friends. They are not your allies. You have an adversarial relationship. These LEOs are contracted by governmental agencies to enforce their will and carry out their commands. So by nature of this whole exchange, right, there's somewhat of an antagonistic relationship between civilians and officers. There's somewhat of an assumed underlined tension, more so with certain subsects, certain communities, certain times of day, certain areas and whatnot, right? For example, where I live right now in the Twin Cities, there's a gang of shootings and things that are going on. Minneapolis PD is hesitant to really turn up the heat because of the flack that they've caught over a couple of deaths that they've enacted, George Floyd being the big one, and they've even had a couple other issues since then. So they're really hesitant to turn off the heat on the actual criminals because of all of the flack that they've caught when they were doing things that they should not have been. And then there are cases like this one here where the officer is just not trained well. He's not sound in the awareness of law. And he's just in bully mode, and he wants to enforce not so much law, but really more so a classic culture of sorts, you know, a particular just kind of keeping everything at the status quo kind of thing, keeping everything apparently up and running smooth. And this auditor is causing friction. Is he breaking any laws? Oddly enough, no. So how does that work? You're causing friction in the community, making people nervous, and you're breaking no law. How does that work?
Dude, young man, I'm not going to play this game with you.